Hello and welcome to the 107 podcast with myself, Ash, and my co-host, Jacob. Obviously, the big news is Daniel Ricciardo, and we'll jump right into it. But it's been Daniel Ricciardo week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Would you say you're a Daniel Ricciardo fan?
I would argue yes.
Name all 8 of his wins.
Ooh, that's a good one, actually. Do I have to name the specific years? Because then
I'll let you off with the year, but I'll tell you what, if you can give me the year, I'll give you a bonus point.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Wasn't it like Monaco 2016?
Actually, I'll tell you what, let's just do...
I'm going to put my phone on over here, so I'm not cheating.
Okay, Monaco 2016 was not one of them.
But it was what year was it that you won?
I'll tell you
Monaco?
what, give me just the 8 wins, and then we'll do it afterwards.
Okay, so because I know that obviously Monza was 2021.
Okay, so you got Monza. That's
Monza,
cool.
yeah. So Monza, Malaysia?
Yeah, you got Malaysia.
Monaco. He didn't win the Australian Grand Prix, and technically he had a podium taken away from him on Australian Grand Prix, so it's not Australia.
These are his wins, yep.
Yeah. But I was like, it's not. I'm just eliminating tracks at this point.
You're doing your logic.
He's never won at Silverstone. Did he win one of the US races? No, I feel like we never would have heard the end of it if he won one of the US races. Brazil?
Not on the list.
I genuinely can't.
It's harder
remember.
than you think. It's
Monaco's the most famous one, I'd argue.
Yeah.
If you were into F1 in the last 10, 15 years, I'd argue Danny Rick's Monaco win was probably arguably the best drive of his career. Yeah. You could argue that.
It had that iconic commentary as well, Redemption Day.
Yeah, exactly. And doing it on an underpowered engine as well, managing the issue, fantastic.
It is harder than you think.
Yeah, apparently. But I've got 3 out of the 8, so that's not too bad. I feel like he hasn't won the other Italian / San Marino Grand Prix. So that's not going to be it. He's not won Zandvoort because that's a more recent circuit. I'm really trying hard to eliminate the tracks as well. Germany? No, I didn't think so, but I was like, oh, I'll throw it out there. Oh.
Do you know someone is listening right now?
Someone's listening. It's going, it's Valencia! He won in Spain! Was it Spain?
Crazy.
Barcelona? No. Are any of them one of the races that we've been to so far this season?
I wouldn't say we.
Hungary?
Yeah, he is one at Hungary.
Okay, yeah. I did not know that. You do. In my defense, to listeners listening now, in my defense, I did stop watching F1 from like 2010 all the way through to about 2019, 20. To be fair.
Then you're going to really struggle.
So this is why I'm struggling in my defense. I don't think I could sit here and guess. I'm going to have one more guess, and then I'm just going to let you tell me. Yeah. One more guess, because I'm stumped at this point anyway, and we have a podcast to get on with. I've said Monaco, Malaysia, Imola.
Not Imola.
Monza.
And you said Hungary.
And Hungary, which you sort of gave me.
But also, that's not the only race that one of us has attended that he's won.
He's not won at Silverstone.
No.
India?
No. You've been to this race.
Austria?
No.
But I've only been to Silverstone, Austria, and Hungary.
No.
And what the hell am I forgetting?
Considering the experience.
What the hell am I forgetting?
What was your first ever F1 race?
Fucking Belgium. That doesn't count. That does not count. I do not count that as my... I forget that I went there. The only thing that I remember, other than the fucking rain, was the Nikita Mazepin fastest lap. That's the only thing that I remember. Everything else, I genuinely think I've trauma blocked from my mind.
Okay, I'll give you some clues.
Okay, sure.
One of his wins has been in North America.
The Canada?
Yep.
Yeah,
His
okay.
first
Well,
one
I mean,
was
it's
Canada.
50-50, but yeah, okay, Canada.
One of his wins was also won by a McLaren driver this season.
I knew Canada. Singapore?
Nope.
Well, we've had Hungary, so it's not Singapore. Well, it can't be Miami. There's no way it's Miami.
No.
Baku?
Yep, Baku.
You won in Baku. Oh, fuck.
Dude. And then the final one was a race that's been on and off the calendar in recent years.
Turkey.
No.
You can see Portimao?
It's not in Europe.
You completely lost me. Not in Europe, on and off. I've said Malaysia already. Yeah. Because fingers crossed it comes back on.
That's a good region.
It wasn't India. Japan, no. Wait, Japan has been off and on the calendar, but I don't think he's won in Japan.
No, he hasn't.
No, okay. So what are the... China?
China, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on China.
Oh, okay.
He did, yes.
Again, I do apologise. I did stop watching the sport for a long time because I was a poor child. So do bear with me. But I didn't realise some of those, to be honest with you.
I'd forgotten a couple. I'd forgotten he'd won in Belgium.
I should know. I should have known more.
And yeah, I think that was the one I'd forgot.
Well, there we go. But I do have some wheel knowledge. I did know that he didn't even have a podium in Australia, but he did get one, but then it was removed. So I do have some wheel knowledge. Oh, wow. I could not give you the years whatsoever. Like, I know that...
You weren't watching then. You weren't.
No, I've got no idea whatsoever. I initially went into this, thought it would be a hell of a lot easier than it was. Yeah. But... it doesn't look like he's ever going to win another Grand Prix again, let alone, step into another F1 car competitively, which is a real shame. It is and it isn't.
There's always rumors flying about. I know, is it Kim or Kim Illman?
Kim Illman, oh God.
Heard some stuff. Obviously, there are still seats available on the grid for next year.
Oh yeah, I wonder who's going to fill that second Aston Martin seat.
I was thinking more at Sauber, Audi.
That's Valtteri's. I think that's pretty much wrapped up now.
Do you think with Danny being available? Especially if the whole sponsor talk is true.
Yes. I don't know.
I'd rather see a V-carb Audi rather than a steak Audi.
I mean, yeah, there is that, but I think Stake pay a hell of a lot of money.
Probably do.
And Stake probably wouldn't want to be associated with Visa. So, I don't know. That's just off the top of my head. Allegedly, I don't think that they would be, the best of buddies.
Yeah, but obviously the strong rumor is that he's been offered a role back at Red Bull.
Yeah, test reserve / promotional driver. But I think the way they've dealt with Danny, just the end, I think there will be such a bitter taste in his mouth that I don't think he'll want to. I mean, I know he didn't have the best experience with McLaren, but I think depending on how harshly he takes this, he could prefer some sort of role within McLaren. If McLaren were to offer him something, he could even...
I think he'll go back to Red Bull.
He could, but I mean, at the moment, I think he just needs some time. I think for me, the way that it was all handled, and then allegedly it coming out that, Horner's been trying to keep him in the car since Barcelona and blah, 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 blah. It's just the whole Red Bull family at the moment does seem a little bit of a mess. And the way that everyone seemingly knew is also, it just is shit.
Yeah. Even
dealt with in such a bad way.
The handling on social media.
Oh yeah,
Red Bull came
horrible.
up.
Yeah.
Did they just do like a prayer emoji, and Mercedes were writing like paragraphs?
Yeah, I think McLaren also wrote something pretty nice as well. But GQ weirdly wrote arguably the nicest thing.
Yeah, that's really strange.
Shout out GQ, by the way. We're available for sponsorship.
He he's a Red Bull. What's it? Is it Academy driver? He's a Red Bull Junior. Sorry, Red Bull Junior. Winning for Red Bull, improving their perception. Let's call it that. Their publicity, being quite marketable, and how it's been treated is just an absolute shock. And Red Bull they've just taken L after L after L this year.
Yeah, like I said, Red Bull are crumbling right now.
It's like Christian Horner situation.
Yeah, they're losing loads of staff, inclusive of Newey.
Has gone down.
Yeah,
potentially going to lose the Constructors' Championship.
Oh, it's gone. It just is gone. I'm sorry, it's gone.
Yeah, the treatment of Danny Rick is, I really feel for like Liam Lawson because he's an innocent party in all of this, and he's just been caught.
Yeah, I saw he got a bit of hate.
How?
Well,
I know how. The internet's a fucked up place.
I actually have a bone to pick with Liam Lawson, and it has nothing to do with Daniel Ricciardo. I do. I genuinely do. Who is Liam Lawson's hero?
Oh, who's Liam Lawson's hero? Lewis Hamilton?
No, Lightning McQueen. And he had the option to choose any driver number he possibly wanted, and he didn't pick 95.
But he picked
30 instead. I'm very disappointed. He had one job. One fucking job, Liam. One job, Liam. Pick 95. That was all you had to do, and you would have lived on in the history books of Formula One. That would have been fucking hilarious. But no. Pick number 30 instead, which means nothing to me anyway. It could mean everything to him. I have absolutely no idea. But huge L, Liam. Huge L. Sorry, but you should have picked 95. That would have been brilliant. 30 is probably his karting number or whatever,
I'm trying to have a look. No one has 95.
No, that's exactly my point.
Maybe they don't want all the Lightning McQueen jokes.
Yeah, but I think that brings personality, marketability. I think it's fun. The only thing that I can see why they wouldn't is because of the trademarks and stuff like that. Like maybe they have it, but how could you trademark the number 95? Like
I also don't think he'd just want to be associated like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
because at least, but with your branding, right? 44 is Hamilton.
Yeah.
33 is Max.
Yeah,
95
he wants to build his own thing. Yeah,
Lightning McQueen, not Liam Lawson.
But it would have been funny. It would have been funny. You can't tell me that wouldn't have been funny. That's my point.
I think there are smart people around him.
Oh, the smarter people than me, clearly.
It's like if you were around him, you're like 95.
I swear to God, Liam, you better.
Liam, you could be in Formula One for 10 years, building your brand. Think about the number.
Yeah, I do get it. 30's a bit boring though.
But congratulations on him.
Yeah, huge congrats. I think he deserves it. Genuinely. Yeah. He deserves a shot anyway. It could go tits up. I've heard through, I don't know whether or not it's confirmed or whatever, but I've heard through various different sources that he's going to essentially be confirmed for next year as well, providing he doesn't completely fuck it up. And bearing in mind how long Sergio Perez has been in the car, I highly doubt it. So Liam will probably be there for, maybe until Singapore next year when another driver gets the opportunity. So there were also some images of Yuki in Red Bull mechanics or like driver overalls, racing overalls as well. That was for a Red Bull show run, so don't get too excited about those. That wasn't like a leaked promotional thing where Yuki was going to be announced for next year as Red Bull. I still don't see Yuki in the Red Bull at all, unless something outrageous happens, purely because Honda have the deal with Aston Martin coming up soon, and he's a Honda-backed driver. I don't see him getting anywhere near that top team.
Did you see he broke the engine in the car?
Yes, I did. Yeah, it was a Renault engine as well. And ironically, they've decided they're not going to produce F1 engines anymore. So
what do I did a couple of donuts?
Literally, the whole thing just went kaput. But we can talk about the Renault engine bits and pieces later. But what was your feeling overall around Daniel? Do you think it was about time? Do you think that he didn't really deserve another chance? Do you think that, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but was it, what did you think about how things have happened over the last, year and a half?
I'm going to start from his McLaren days rather.
Yeah, where it sort of started to completely fall apart. Because at Renault, he did all right.
Yeah, no, Renault, he did all right. And anyone in his position would have taken the McLaren.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of like the start of the downfall. Unfortunately, he wasn't comfortable.
No.
He didn't perform. And then I think just being like Red Bull, potentially replacement with Sergio, RB and everything like that. I think that was just a whole mishmash of things. And
do you think maybe even they sold him a dream?
I think they sold him the dream, which is like you perform at RB, you're getting the Red Bull seat. And like as much as his last few performances have been talked about, he's not done enough to warrant that seat. Unlike when he was at Toro Rosso, he did do enough to warrant that seat.
I think almost like he did at McLaren, he would do shit for like 4 or 5 races and then all of a sudden come out of nowhere and do really well for no reason. No reason whatsoever. He had it obviously in Monza. He had it when he won. He had it in Mexico last year when he, scored points that essentially were worth like $8 million in the constructors for RB last year as well. So he had Miami earlier on this year as well. He did very well in the sprint race as well. So he randomly has these great performances, but he just wasn't consistent enough with those great performances in that latter half of his career.
Yeah, the handbrake as well didn't help. You just and I think no disrespect to Yuki, but he's you should be beating Yuki. Let's just say that.
With his experience, yeah.
Yeah, he should be beating Yuki, and Yuki beating him, not being rated as highly. They're like, even Yuki's beating him kind of thing. It's just...
Yeah. To be fair, Yuki has only ever faced off against Nick de Vries, which didn't go particularly well.
It did not.
Daniel Ricciardo and Liam Lawson. And I think him and Liam Lawson were like neck and neck off the top of my head.
Well, Liam only did the Singapore Grand Prix.
He did Japan.
Did he do Japan as well?
No, he did Zandvoort and Singapore. I don't know if he did Japan, but I think during those 2 races, I think they were like neck and neck. So
Formula One, he did 5 races. 13th, 11th, 9th, 11th, 17th. So I'm guessing Yuki beat him at that time.
Probably. But I feel like the gap wasn't too far off for somebody who were literally just thrown into the car.
Yes. So if we have a look at the races, in the first one, Liam beat Yuki at Netherlands.
Zandvoort, yep.
Yuki didn't start Italy. He retired in Singapore.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah.
Liam beat him in Japan, and Yuki beat Liam in Qatar.
So it's 2-1, I'd argue.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, he didn't do too badly against Yuki. Again, Yuki might be a future World Drivers' Champion, and Liam Lawson might be a future triple World Drivers' Champion. I genuinely don't know. But you're always compared against your teammate, and he was just as good as Yuki, I would argue.
Well, up until that, like obviously Yuki smashed Nick. And then when
the floor with him.
Yeah, and then when Daniel came back from his injury, Yuki beat him 4 out of the last 5 races.
Yeah.
Or 3 out of the last 5. Yeah. Either way, Daniel's results didn't warrant an upgrade to a Red Bull seat.
No.
And I think Daniel knows that.
Yeah.
So it's a shame as well to see him go. He's a great personality.
He did a hell of a lot for the sport. We talk about Lewis Hamilton doing a hell of a lot for the sport.
Yeah.
And Lewis does. Jesus Christ. I think Lewis has more followers than like most of the F1 teams combined. So Lewis definitely has. But Daniel Ricciardo has also had a huge impact on the sport.
He has. He's brought personality to what was a very corporate sport. He's a likable character, got along with everyone on the grid. And yeah, I think what's really left everyone with a bit of taste in the mouth is just how his exit was handled.
Yeah.
Just knowing you're gone, but having to do, or everyone knows you're gone, but no one can say it. And you're doing those interviews, and yeah, it was just, ugh.
And all the drivers coming out and making statements and saying things about, like, such nice things about him as well. Just goes to show that it's not for show. Everyone had something nice to say about this bloke.
There's the post that, Lewis put out, and it was just like, that all came from the heart.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, let's just do it.
That wasn't a PR team. That was them logging in and posting something themselves. Like that.
Yep.
That was the level of care. I did see that Lando got a little bit of flack for not actually posting anything. Did you see that?
No, I don't. But I also don't blame, I don't care, because maybe Lando just directly spoke to Daniel.
That's exactly what happened. So
I don't have to put it out on social media.
Yeah.
So maybe just phoned him up, met him in Monaco or whatever. And
so in Singapore, Lando spent a lot of time with Daniel in the garage before Daniel then eventually left. So Lando spoke to him personally and directly.
There you go.
So
that's it. He doesn't need to get the clicks and likes and say, hey, look at my tribute to Daniel. It's probably more powerful that he just went and spent his last few moments in a Formula One just with him face to face.
Yeah. Because they get on like a house on fire. I know that Max and Daniel also.
I still think Carl Lando is the best pairing.
Yeah. Carl Lando was arguably the best driver pairing in terms of banter that there's been in the last 10, 15 years. I can't really. I think Kimi and Seb low-key had a really good relationship between the two of them as well. Same as Kimi and Giovinazzi, weirdly. They seem to have a really good relationship too. But there's not really many other that have come, driver pairings that have come close to that level of bromance. Yeah. Even Max and Daniel was close, but not really at the same time.
It's not Kyle Lando close.
No, exactly. Yeah, I think the nickname definitely helped as well.
It's got the word car in it.
That too. Yeah. But yeah, no, I do definitely feel a little bit for the multi-billionaire. I joke, but I do feel for him a little bit. It's not the nicest way to be kicked out of the sport whatsoever. But I can almost guarantee you, almost exactly we have Jenson Button, David Coulthard, we have so many ex-drivers knocking around. He will be given some sort of broadcasting job or some sort of commentary, or he will be around a hell of a lot. Maybe he'll even have his own curse like Nico Rosberg does. I'm sure something. He'll be back. He's not going to completely disappear. No. He loves the sport. That's why he came back,
and the sport loves him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's simpatico. Did I use that word right?
What did you say?
Simpatico.
I have no idea what that means, so I'm going to assume you said it right.
Simpatico. Oh God, I'm not even typing. Simpatico. Simpatico. Yeah, but having or characterized by shared attributes or interests, compatible. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, that's enough for English.
Sorry, I'm not smart enough for your big words.
No. Yeah. My brain's not working. I'm starting to get sick again. So it's a good thing there's a break. Yeah, I feel bad for me. But I will, you know what, considering that me, a plastic Daniel Ricciardo fan, didn't actually know which races he watched. If you're struggling over the summer break, go and watch those races that Daniel did win and reminisce just a little bit.
Hungary was good. Azerbaijan was good.
Monaco was exceptional. I've definitely seen that race, all the highlights of it anyway, like the 30-minute breakdown type thing that they do. So if you're looking for something to fill your autumn break with, then go ahead and do that. Do we have any other bits and pieces I had one thing. We were talking about driver numbers. Do you think that F1 will retire the number 44 when Lewis retires?
I don't think they will, but I think out of respect, no one will take it.
I don't think anyone else will take it unless it literally gets to the point of nobody can use any other numbers.
Yeah.
Then I think 44, unless Lewis has like a son or whatever or maybe Lewis
Project Hamilton.
Project Hamilton, like he finds a young driver who's in karting and he supports him in his entire career, then fair. But I don't think anyone else should use that number at all. I think people will be scared off by it. Like, can you imagine if for example, let's say Ollie Behrman is joining Haas, which he is next year, and Lewis is actually retiring. He doesn't go to Ferrari. And Ollie walks into Haas and he goes, I want the number 44. They're going to go, are you fucking joking? You are not having the number 44. I think that other teams and other people will be like, whoa, there's no way we're touching this. So I personally think they should retire it, but I don't think they will. It would be a good thing to do, though.
It would be, but I think with MBS there, he'd be like, no.
God knows at this point, honestly. But
you touched on something earlier that we can briefly talk about, which is Renault engines.
Yes.
Time to say goodbye.
Yeah, I'm a bit sporting wise. I'll be honest, their engines haven't been great recently. And I can understand why they would want to reduce it. They're not a team that sell their engines to another team. They're not selling their engines to Red Bull anymore or whatever. Even though their engines have won championships in their defense, they have won championships previously. With the
2011, Alonso, the engine was instrumental.
Vettel, So I will say the Renault engines were fantastic. And it is a very sad day. I also, on the opposite side, from a human perspective, I feel incredibly bad for all of the employees who will more than likely lose their jobs or have their jobs and lives changed from this. Getting a bit real. And that is not going to be fun for anyone involved below the executive level, let's be completely honest. Hopefully, I understand that, the Renault factory wasn't exactly like the engine where they produced the engines wasn't exactly near loads of other bits and pieces. So it's not easy to just walk down the road from one F1 team to the other and hand your CV in. But I really do hope that we keep some of the talent that was prevalent over the years in Formula One in the Renault engines. Because it's not great. It is a sad day.
Yeah, hopefully with Red Bull may have some openings with their powertrains, and their experience will translate well to hypercars, supercars.
Yeah, I think that Ferrari could probably take on a couple of staff as well, considering that Ferrari do actually do lots of other series as well. So I think that could be pretty good. But also then you've got to think there are two new manufacturers coming in to the sport soon as well, like Cadillac, GM. They could potentially look at pinching some people from Renault as well. So there's going to be opportunities for those who really want them. Yeah. Hopefully.
Well, sad day. So we're just left with Honda, Mercedes, Ferrari.
Yeah. Wow. Is that it?
Yeah. And then it'll be Red Bull powertrains. So that'll make it up to 4.
But Honda will then move to Aston Martin. So we'll still have Honda as well.
Yeah, so we've got Honda, Mercedes, Ferrari, Renault.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, for 10 teams, that's not
that's okay.
outrageous. It's not like there's only like 2 or 3. Yeah. And then obviously, like we said, we've got GM coming in, Audi. Audi was the other one. Audi, they're building their own engines. So actually maybe Audi can pinch some people, because I know that Audi will be producing their engines in Switzerland. And obviously France is directly by land border connected to Switzerland. So, maybe Audi can pick up the pieces and pinch some good staff as well. So I understand that's not exactly how it works, but you get my point and my wishful thinking. I wish anyone who's involved in that engine project the absolute best. Not that they'd be listening to this.
It's sad, but yeah, well, see what the future holds.
We will. Yes, we will. And there's no reason to say that, Renault don't turn around in 10 years and go, you know what?
Honda came back.
Screwed it. We've screwed the pooch here. We need to come back with some toasty engines.
Technically, Honda came back twice.
Honda have left and come back a dozen times. It feels like they leave and come back every year.
So yeah, you never know what rule changes might happen in Formula One, where they're like, "Hey, we want to be a part of it."
Yeah, exactly. Do we have? I feel like the Renault stuff probably has a lot more substance and context to it, but I don't know enough of the full details to be completely honest.
Neither do I.
But we know the headline, and the headline is more than enough to be sad about. Essentially, to be completely honest.
True.
Yeah. Do we have too much else to chat about?
Not really.
No, I think I had an idea because we spoke about potentially doing something with Undercut Society, who have just gone through a cheeky little rebranding. I was going to suggest we do the pre-US Grand Prix episode with them. Perfect people to do it with.
They're probably going.
They probably are going. I genuinely don't know. But I will reach out to them and hopefully we can get them back on the podcast once again for that week. Just sort of cheeky little something to tease. We haven't spoken to Karina. Scheduling issues, mostly us. Let's be honest. So we do need to chat about some F1 Academy as well, especially because we still have 2 races left towards the end of the season as well. I didn't realize, looking at the last couple of races, there's 3 sprint races.
Are you talking normal F1?
Normal F1, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had a sprint race.
I know.
Actually.
The missus and I, we have a calendar on the wall with everything that's going on during the month.
Yeah.
And we were having a look and we realized that, we were like, oh, would you there's a sprint race. Oh, there's another sprint race. We did completely caught us both off guard. So we do have that to look forward to as well. Just double check. So it was, the US was a sprint race as well, which is very cool. And then it was Qatar. No, Qatar.
Yeah, Qatar.
Brazil. That was it. Yes. So we have 3 sprint races coming up as well. We have championship battle, 3 sprint races. We've got Liam Lawson in the car as well. We've got another Behrman FP1 as well. So we get closer to seeing Behrman in the F1 car as well again, even though he's obviously there at Baku. And
Carlos and Lewis's last few races with their teams.
Yeah, that's what literally was my next point. Is we've got the last couple of races for them. We've got Colapinto fighting to maybe sign on the dotted line for Stake / Audi, but if not, I've heard he's going to be, at least he's confirmed as test and reserve driver for Williams for next season at the very least, which is awesome. But we've got quite a lot to look forward to towards the end of the season. We genuinely really, really do.
Is it another triple header?
The last 3 races is a triple header.
I think the next 3 races are a triple header.
Yeah, it is. So it's a triple
US,
header,
Mexico,
then a week
Brazil.
off, and then a triple header.
Yeah, wow.
Wait, is it a week off or 2 weeks between? Hold on, let me do it.
No, it's it's
2 weeks
off.
between. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't like the fact that it goes Vegas, then the week after Qatar. From one side of the planet to the other, it just doesn't. Yeah.
Obviously, we shouldn't have 4 race weekends in a row, but it goes US, Mexico, Brazil.
Yeah.
Couple of weeks off, and then Vegas.
I mean, bear with me, but if you'd have pulled US Grand Prix a week earlier and Mexico a week earlier and Brazil a week earlier, then you could, or shuffle things around. You could have had US and Mexico as a doubleheader, then Brazil and Vegas as a doubleheader, and then Qatar and Abu Dhabi as a doubleheader.
Yeah,
that would have made a hell of a lot more sense for schedules and also for for members of staff as well. But obviously, the 2025 schedule is I think all of the dates have been locked in properly now. And we're not going to have an autumn break next year, which is good news. So we won't have this weird limbo where not a lot happens, which is good.
Yeah, strange,
but yeah,
we eating good over the next until December.
We are, yeah. But the fact that the season goes on until December,
that's crazy.
It's mental.
And then their pre-season testing in a couple of months.
We have the rookie sprint race that's happening as well.
Do we?
Yeah. So I don't think it's 100% confirmed, but it's pretty much there from what I'd heard. So
really?
It's going to be the rookie/test drivers all doing a sprint race type format in Abu Dhabi after the season ends.
Okay, I'll wait till it's confirmed.
Yeah, I'll wait for it. But I swear to God, if they don't televise that, I'm going to be pissed.
They've got to.
Apparently, it's only one car per team, which makes sense. But I don't know the drivers that are confirmed 100% for it, but as far as I've heard, it is the test/reserve driver, like the typical one.
Is Alonso though?
He is a rookie, so that would make sense. No, so that would be Djokovic. Who else could we see in that? Let's brainstorm the drivers that we could see. So we could have Djokovic, Behrman, Kimi. I don't know if he would, but I imagine he would. Otherwise, it would be Vesti. But I think Kimi makes the most sense.
Colapinto.
Colapinto would probably be on there, unless for some reason, yeah, it'd have to be Colapinto.
Isaac Hadjar.
Hadjar probably, maybe.
Mick Schumacher. Oh, no, he wouldn't. He's not rookie.
Jack Doohan. That's the other one. Jack Doohan, yeah. And how many is that? Doohan?
Oh, RB. Who'd be RB's one?
I actually don't know who RB's would be. Good job, mate. It would probably be Hadjar and Red Bull, and then Liam Lawson.
Liam Lawson, is it?
Probably. Because also it prepares him for next season as well. I feel like we forget who would do the Ferrari. Because would you put Behrman in the Ferrari or the Haas, or would you put Fittipaldi in the Haas?
It would be Behrman.
Yeah, but
okay. So I'll tell you who the reserve drivers are for the teams.
Right? Okay, yeah.
Red Bulls is Liam Lawson.
So, but this is the thing. It doesn't make sense. Surely you'd put him in the V carb.
Red Bull's reserve driver is Liam Lawson. Wait, not the rookie. We don't know who the rookie is because they could just pick Isaac Hadjar.
This is the thing. I don't know. But then again, if Liam is the reserve for Red Bull, I think he is also the reserve for V carb, isn't he? So it could be that they also bring in Isaac Hadjar because he can't.
I think they'll just do rookies. For most
rookies would make the most sense. Like never ever driven a Formula One car competitively would be more fun.
Yeah, but Red Bull and V carbs is Liam. Mercedes is Mick. Ferrari have Ollie, Giovinazzi, and Robert Schwartzman.
Yeah.
McLaren have Rio Hirakawa and Pato Award.
Pato, I've heard that because Pato's doing FP1 in Mexico.
Yeah.
I've heard that Pato is in the mix for this. I would love to see that because I think of all of the IndyCar drivers at the moment, Pato's probably got the best shot at actually getting an F1 seat. Out of all of them, he's probably up there.
Aston's obviously Felipe, but they've got Stoffel as well.
Yeah, Stoffel's not going to do it. Stoffel just isn't going to do it, is he?
Williams don't have a reserve driver.
Their Colapinto's doing it right now. They're going to stick Leah Block in there.
They usually call Mercedes. Well, the development driver is Jamie Chadwick.
Oh, yes. That would be fun.
Oh, he's done. Sauber have Zane Maloney and Theo Porcher.
Yes, Theo Porcher makes the most sense.
And then Haas have Ollie and Pietro Fittipaldi.
Yeah, but I think if Ollie is going to, unless you put Schwartzman in the Ferrari, I think
they'll pick a few rookies from F2 and see how they do.
Because, I mean, McLaren could put Bortoletto in as well.
Could do. So,
So
yeah, hopefully they get that confirmed, and it'd be interesting to see.
I would really like to see that. Like, really, really like to see that. That's the sort. When they do like Pirelli tire tests, this is what they should be doing. They should be doing a rookie sprint race. That's what they should be doing.
Fun times.
It would be, honestly, it would be a lot of fun. Did you see also we popped off a little bit on Threads where somebody said what?
You had some hate thrown at you.
I had some. Somebody called me a clown. I was like, how rude. I clapped back at them though. But like,
no, don't feed the trolls.
No, it's fun. I put like somebody put something out there of like, if you could make one rule change, what would it be? And I was like, here's a fun one. What if the teams had to run the test and reserve driver for one race during the entire season? Just one.
Yeah,
like you have one.
I like how everyone went into like the technicalities.
Yeah.
What about the points?
What about the points and the sponsors? And what about like, what if both drivers are in for a drivers' championship? And I'm like, well, you would have to organise it. That's like, sometimes the test and reserve drivers aren't at the racetrack. And I'm like, yes, but you would organise it so that they were there. You would tell them. Like,
it's just something fun.
It's a fun,
just like a hypothetical. Literally. I was talking more about the Max Saudi Lewis incident.
Oh,
where,
yeah.
Who was at fault? And I think you said like Lewis was at fault.
I said Lewis was at fault.
Mental.
I said Lewis was at fault because he was, in my head. He drove into the back of Max. Max didn't brake check him. They literally looked at the telemetry and they could see that he didn't brake check him. So I don't get how I don't get it. Max was trying to be clever, to be fair.
I didn't watch race, so
but Max was trying to be clever. He was trying to get the DRS for the next straight so he could just overtake him again. But Lewis hit Max, and yeah, that's all it boils down to. Yeah, Lewis should know past slower car. That's what it boils down to. Yeah,
I have no opinion. I don't watch it, so
well. There it is. But yeah, we got some hate, so I was ready to fight back at these trolls. Yeah, somebody called me a clown, and I think I said, "Is everything okay at home?" I think that was what I said. I can't remember.
I don't know. My phone was just, you killed a lot of battery on my phone.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah.
I just
but Threads has been so fun. Threads, if you're not on Threads, come and say hello on Threads. We're always around on Threads. We love Threads. Like
everyone in the F1 community is around. If you say hello, someone will respond.
Literally, like, for some reason, like F1 fans come out of the woodwork on Threads. It's so much fun. So please,
it's so positive and fun.
Other than the one or two clowns that I had to deal with over the weekend, yeah, it's been super fun. So please do come and say hello on Threads or on Instagram, or just support the podcast by following us, subscribing, all that fun stuff on your preferred podcast platform. Even sick, I still plug. But yeah, no, we've been popping off a little bit on there, which has been super fun. We need to get back into the memes. That's for sure.
There's been no content for memes.
Not really. No, there's not been anything silly happening.
No. But we're not memeing Daniel Ricciardo's.
No. Well, maybe. I've seen even like the F1 meme accounts have dried up. So I mean, it's not just us. There is a desperate need. A thirst for memes. We need it. We need them. But don't worry, we'll be back when there's some memeable content coming out. But in the meantime, should we wrap things up? We've been recording now for like almost 45 minutes.
Yep, let's do it. Goodbye, Danny. It was amazing to have you on the grid, and we look forward to your next adventures.
We enjoyed the butterflies. Let's just leave it at that. Cheers, everyone.